you take it personal when you get to go home and you know you made a difference.
Most days, Cumberland County Sheriff Daryl Hodges loves his job.
This is my 18th year as sheriff. I've been blessed, yes, sir.
But there are other days when he dreads it.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest, I picked the last child up on the side of the road that I ever want to that's been killed in an accident, especially in a horse and buggy.
And though not in his county, this weekend's Amish buggy crash in Richmond County on the intersection of Route 3 and Calvary Church Road, which injured 7 people, including 2 who had to be med-flighted, reminds Sheriff Hodges that more needs to be done to change these types of crashes, which are oftentimes deadly.
We've had, unfortunately, a couple fatalities here with the horse and buggies, and it's very traumatic when a motor vehicle hits, a horse and a buggy. From both of our collisions were from the rear, and it was just, there's no bumpers, there's no anything on that buggy to stop it, and there's no seat belts to keep people contained, so when it hits, people unfortunately are thrown in many different directions.
Hodges says there's a growing Amish population across the state, sharing rural roads on horse and buggy at about 8 miles an hour, with vehicles going highway speeds.
You're pop around a curve or pop over a hill, and all of a sudden there's something going 8 miles an hour and you're doing 55, it closes the gap really quickly.
And while horse and buggies are required by law to have a single working light, white in front and red in the rear, visible up to 500 feet to help warn drivers, Hodges says he's proposing an additional measure he believes could save more lives.
We came up with the idea of having a sign, that when the horse and buggy go by, it will activate a sign similar to the sign behind me right now, but it'll blink and it'll let you know that there's a horse and buggy within a 2-mile radius.
Similar to a flashing pedestrian cross sign, Hodges envisions these flashing horse and buggy signs would be activated by devices similar to an Easy Pass, only fastened to a buggy. The hope is that the flashing lights could be enough to warn drivers to be more alert when buggies draw near.
We've had a few delegates and senators and stuff who have worked with us and talked to us about getting this put through. We've approached the General Assembly about putting something into effect. They're doing a VDOT study now, but with government sometimes that's a slow process.
Hodges says the most recent crash in Richmond County is a wake-up call for motorists and state leaders to help make changes for a community rarely heard from.
So I feel like they need a voice, and as law enforcement, I feel like we should be their voice to help protect and keep them safe.
Reporting in Cumberland County, AJ Nwoko, CBS 6 News.